numero uno, number one on the Barcelona channel. So, uh,
Yes.
for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, like I said in the past, Barcelona is just about just keeping it real, life of a retired soldier and some tips here and there about the my career in the military and through life. And what a perfect way to start than with one of my oldest younger brother, Cologne. Uh, Eduardo and I go back all the way to, I want to see, early 2000s, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
2000, 2002.
2002. He was a
Yep.
tanker and I was a medic. And
Yep.
we used to take long walks in the desert. No, just kidding. So
Actually, we did do that too. So
I
yeah,
know.
that's part of it.
How long ago did you retire? Or yeah,
Yeah, six years right now.
6 years?
Yes, sir.
What was the hardest part for you when you transitioning, kind of like when you were a year in? Anything you would have done differently?
You're saying from like the beginning?
Yeah.
Probably not. Honestly, I mean, like we have there's ups and downs, right? So there were some situations that were amazing. I would absolutely do them all over again. And then there's some situations that I'm like, ouch. But my outlook in life is I wouldn't be me if I didn't go through the things that I did go through, the good and the bad. And
Yeah.
honestly, I love who I am today. I love what I have, like as far as my family and the way they are and the way things are going for us. So I mean, I honestly wouldn't change anything. And of course, my experiences in the army helped mold me into who slash what I am today. So yeah,
Now, for those of you that don't know, Eduardo, he has a daughter about to finish college, one
that's
son that
right.
just started, and one about to go to
Yep,
high school, correct?
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
she started high school this year.
there you go. The
The
one is
youngest.
about to graduate from college. I had her in my arms. That's how far we go back.
That's how far we go back.
Damn.
She's
Um,
22 years old.
oh,
So
oh my God.
yeah, it's been a while. Hey, we're not
Um,
getting younger, brother. It's just part of it. It's all good.
Hey, you started as a tanker and you finished your career as an Army recruiter, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Um,
Yeah. I went to basic training in Fort Knox, whenever back then before they moved it. Um, that was super fun. Personally, I like it because the
yeah.
structure, the working out, all of that. It's just so fun. And then obviously shooting guns and then shooting this big gun. That to me, that was like super fun, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, sign me up, yeah. So that was fun. I did that for 8 years, the first 8, 9 years of my career, and then right got after deployments and all that, got recruiting orders, and then I ended up liking it. So I just stayed the latter half, and just try to do the best that I could. I still had fun, even with the
Yeah.
headaches, but yeah, it is what it is.
What did you I was gonna ask you, once you did that transition from tanker, deploy, to recruiting, um, what kept the adrenaline going? Because I know, I remember driving your tank one time and there's no other rush than loading a Sabo and running on the tank trails and through the sand
That's right.
dunes.
So much fun, dude. Absolutely. Oh yeah. Um, Man, that's a good one. I think I I I switched my focus, right? So I was still pumped, you know what I mean? Because I am. I'm cup half full, regardless of what we got going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I did was I switched my focus from looking at the next engagement, if you would, right? And then I changed it into looking for my next contract. So I almost like
Mm,
interchange words, but I tried to keep the same focus, and that helped me a bunch. And then, not to mention, in recruiting, my initial stint was my first 6 years in recruiting were in South Florida. Come on, man.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So even with the headaches, it's South Florida. Who's in the army can say that they live in Miami or Fort Lauderdale,
Yeah.
for 6 years, still being active duty, and not AGR or reserve, no, like active duty army living in South Florida for 6 years. Who does that, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it was. I mean, I had a ball. We were still riding motorcycles every day. I was still out
Yeah.
grinding. Like I said, chasing the next. quote unquote engagement, chasing the next contract and, trying to line up for future operations.
Yeah.
Well, I got my two in, my three. Who am I going to put in next month? All right, I need to start putting people in so I can have something, sandbag for next month because otherwise, it's going to be a bad month. So, and, just that kind of thing.
Is that
And obviously,
is
kind of my
Miami
family.
is
Oh,
Miami
sorry.
where you started your kind of to develop your acting career since you were so close to LeBron James?
I'm not even a fan of his, but we had championships. But he came to Miami to get a
I
ring. We
know.
didn't go looking for. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm not a fan of that
Um,
dude, man. It is what it is. Sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. The if you could go back to the beginning, would you say you would have loved to be in a career recruiter from the get-go, or do you like the mix that you had, tanker and kind of, force com to recruiting?
I think the mix worked out really well for me
Yeah,
because yeah, well, for one, in theory, you can't just jump in and be a recruiter from the jump. You know what I'm saying? But
sure.
they got programs that once you make four, etc. But I think some of the discipline and drive that I grew into, you know what I mean, that I developed came from being a tanker, came
Mm,
from the platoons that I was in, the people I interacted with, how we like kept each other motivated. We were even in the suck, we were still clowning each other and having fun. You know what I mean?
yep, I remember.
So
Yep.
yeah, even in the sleet slash snow, muddy, just borderline miserable. Everybody else, and then our platoon, we was always laughing and having fun. It didn't matter, man. Hey, cut on the tank, throw these MREs back there. We're gonna have a hot meal.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I mean? So I think that mentality just stuck with me when I transitioned. And I never let it go. I just switched verbiage essentially, but I
yeah.
kept pushing. I
I
kept
will
pushing just as hard.
say that I started losing my hair after you gave me the first haircut in Iraq.
Shut your mouth.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, I know you gotta go. I really appreciate you being on the net with me today. Two
Yeah, man.
things.
Thanks for having me.
What is one memorable moment that you and I shared? And then if you could leave some advice to this younger generation's certain facing uncertainty, what would that be?
I think as far as me and you go, there's a couple, but um, I don't know. I don't think this is illegal for me to say, but so do you remember when we were in Iraq and we had some downtime, and then I came over to the A station and we were giving each other IVs, and then I think it was Lackey
Mm,
uh didn't pull he pulled the he pulled the meter out but left the catheter, but then didn't no pressure or anything. So you just saw the squirts like with the heartbeat.
yeah.
That was bananas to me. To this day, that's like one of the most exciting things I can remember happening. Obviously, aside from what I mean, from
Yeah,
from the,
yeah.
the excessive stuff, but yeah, that was amazing. And then you teaching me how to give an IV on like the hand and stuff like that.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
yeah, I don't want to get too personal into like you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I
but like
got
as
you.
far as work wise, yeah, for sure, that was one of my favorites. Thousand hands down, 1,000%. And
Freaking lucky.
yeah, yeah, that dude, man. And I think for the younger generation, man, you just have to realize that the army it's either a chapter or it's a book in your life, right? You can't let that define you, period. Okay. So while you're in, that's who you are, you knock it out, but always look to the future, right? You always have to you want to have that 5 year outlook to the even three, but you still want to be thinking in the future. Yes, today's fun. Yes, this is what I gotta knock out today. But how is this going to affect me tomorrow, right? So try your best to have at least a 3 to 5 year outlook as far as
Yeah,
like where you want to go and continue shooting towards that. And an additional thing that I would like to say is that there are plenty of programs within the VA, outside of the VA, that you can take advantage of when you do, get out, ETS, retire, whichever it happens. Um, But of course, not everyone's just gonna. The information is not gonna just be
Yeah.
posted in front of you. You have to go looking for it. You
Yep.
have to reach out to your networks. You have to reach out to people like Rafi, and and other folks on Facebook that are also they're into it and they're looking to share information as well. But you have to do your part and go out
Yeah.
and search it too. And I promise you, you'll be fine. It's gonna be. I have soldiers that when they left me, they were E4s. You know, banana heads, as I like to call it. And when we saw him after this 20-year reunion, that dude's an engineers. You have business owners, you have police
Yep.
officers, you
Mayors.
still
Yep.
yeah, you still have your occasional. I still drink a whole bottle every night because that was there too. Let's be honest, but overall, like everyone's most of them are doing amazing. Most of the people that showed up, so you do have opportunities. It's not the end of the world. It's going to feel odd the first year while you get accustomed to civilian life. But I promise you, you can do whatever you want. You just have to go out and look for the information. And if you keep that 5-year outlook, you'll be able to pull some of that information before it even gets to that point. So when it happens,
Nice.
you should be ready, at least close enough to ready. By the time you ETS or you retire, whatever you're doing.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate your words. I even wrote some of the things you said. I like that chapter or book. That's a great outlook. And if you finish one book, hey, start another one, right?
You start the other one exactly. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's right.
What state are you calling us from, or we're talking tonight?
I'm currently in Pennsylvania. I wish I was
Pennsylvania.
in Texas. I wish I was in Texas.
I know.
But
You look kind
yeah,
of cold, brother.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a Carhartt on. I don't wear this unless it's necessary. I promise.
Hey, well, you stay safe out there. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're like my brother,
Yeah,
you know
brother.
that. And I'll see you on the
Absolutely.
flip side.
Yes, sir. We'll do. Thanks for having me on.
All right, brother.
All right, Bobby.
Peace.
Buenas
My
noches.
love.
Hello.